week so far. Like I was saying, I hope I've been having a good week so far. I know it's only Tuesday, but tomorrow's Wednesday. It's hump day. We're almost there. That's all I think about. I'm going on a side story and I don't care. My secretary from my elementary, every morning when she sends out like our announcements, she's always got one of these funny little like memes and posts. And then also like the athletics secretary does the same thing. And they are just so funny. I mean, some of them are just talking about the day after Valentine's Day, all the teachers running to like the store to go buy the 70% off chocolate. I'm like, okay, that's not wrong. But there was one that was saying like, don't be looking forward to focus. Like it was talking about what was it? Don't keep going. Okay, 5 more days until Friday, 3 more days until Friday, that kind of deal. And then like someone going, like literally just going down doing this. Yes, no, my day is literally 3 days before Friday, 2 days before Friday. Okay, we hit Wednesday, we are good. And I was like, that's me. It's so bad. But I'm like, if it gets me through the week, it gets me through the week. So anyways, so what I have for today is actually a little different. I think some of it, I will say, I'll be honest with you, it is going to be very chaotic. What I mean is there's a lot of different changes. There's not really a specific theme. I kind of was sitting there going, like last night and then this morning and then this afternoon, because I've been trying to figure out how I want this afternoon's class to go. And I kind of decided just to kind of add a few. We're going to do like jobs, like different, how you would describe a job. And then I have a couple of like objects and things. And if I do repeat myself with some of them, because like I said, I'll just add randomly words in our classes in the past. And then I'll be like, oh, wait, I don't think I taught that. But I'm like, but I think I accidentally said that. And, I add things. So there's a good chance we might be going over some of the same words, but most of them shouldn't be. And then there were a few more like basic words that are important to know. Then let's see. And then we have clothes and stuff, just a little bit, because when we were doing descriptions, I remember we stopped at clothing because that gets complicated. And then, yeah, it's a whole thing, guys. I'm looking at it, I'm like, I can't even say all the themes because there's so many. Yes, that's a good one, especially after last week and what we were talking about. Probably a good idea. Oh, okay. So, sorry, checking on the dog. He was bumping on the table and I thought, are you chewing on the table? No, he's chewing on his toy under the table. And he's too big for it. And he keeps hitting his little head on it. I'm like, you enjoy yourself. Okay. Anyways, so for jobs, the first word we're going to learn is the actual sign for work. This is really kind of used for work and job because, those are very similar words, so that it's the same sign. So it's going to be work, non-dominant's a fist, dominant's a fist. Your dominant is tapping. Yeah, work. So this could be for saying good work. My work is what? Like I work as a teacher. You need to work on that paper, work, just work. Like I said, it's just, if you're just trying to do like the basic worker, like I'm a worker or something like that, you would do work and then person. And that's how it'll be for pretty much almost everything is person. Some of them you don't even have to add the person because they know when you see that sign, oh, that means that it's a person's job. It's not just the thing itself. So then obviously I had to go with teacher first because, I am a teacher. So the sign for teach is teach. And then you go teacher. And sometimes you'll see them just kind of do this motion. That's what I was saying, is that lazy. Well, not lazy. Okay, that sounds so negative, but really it is, it's just not saying the whole thing out. Teacher, just being fast. So teacher. Then we have librarian, which is then library person. Then we have artist. So artist is going to be the sign for art, which we learned a couple weeks ago, art. Person. If you were going to talk about a painter, same thing, paint, er. Then I kind of jumped over everywhere. So we're gonna have some fun. Just you're be like, I wasn't thinking of that teaching that job yet. But so my next one was engineer. So the sign for engineer is the same sign for, well, is really the sign for measure. So you're gonna have two Y's, their thumbs are gonna touch, and then your dominant hand's gonna bend down. This is measure. So if you're saying engineer, it's measure person. Let me see, sorry. Okay, can y'all see me good now? Okay, don't know what happened. My internet decided no. I watched it go down and up, and I'm like, no one's touched you. You are literally in the bedroom by yourself. Why are you acting up? So anyways, I totally lost my train of thought. Engineer, that's right, engineer. And it's just one hand. Yeah, you just have the one hand go down. So yes, I think the reason why engineer first popped into my mind was, one, my students are learning measurement in math. Like that's how we're teaching. It's kind of fun with them because I'm such a dramatic, funny teacher. Like, okay, I can't call myself funny. If you call yourself funny, you're immediately not funny. But I'm such a dramatic teacher, and I like to make my kids kind of giggle and just be like being silly. And so when I first gave them rulers, I asked them, well, what do you do with rulers? And they looked at me and they're like, I don't know. And so I just started banging things. I was like, do I just do this? Like, I mean, I was hitting my wall with this. Like, do I do this? And they're like, no. I started like pretending like I was playing the drums like this. And they're like, no. And I was like, well, what do I do with it? And then, I was just doing all kinds of crazy things with it. And yeah, and they got a kick out of it. And I asked them today, I was like, well, what do I do with this? Like with this ruler. And I just immediately started drums. And like my boy student was like, stop. I was like, thank you. He thought it was funny though. He's like a jokester too, so he was cracking up as I did it. But I think that's why my mind is like engineer. Anyways, so then we have lawyer. So lawyer's gonna be law. So it's that L, law, person, lawyer. Then I have doctor. So doctor can be kind of signed two different ways. Like it's again that one where I say where sometimes they'll sign it with the actual letter to be more signing exact English instead. But both ways are accepted. So doctor, or doctor. For fun fact, this is duty, like job duty, like when I say lunch duty, and I always say lunch doctor. Always, when I say it's my job, I say I'm a lunch doctor. And my coworkers, they put up with so much with me. Like I sign things wrong, and I'm like, and I'll be like, and sometimes I finally am realizing I'm signing this wrong. I need to fix myself, and I'll start sitting there. I've got lunch down, but then I'm staring at my hand, and I go this, and I just start doing this motion, and my coworkers are like, we got you, we're good, and I'm like, okay, thank you. Like it's like I'm freezing, you just kind of freeze. I don't know how I'm supposed, where else I'm supposed to go with this right now. And I'm just like, and I look at them like, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened there. And they're like, it's fine. So anyway, so doctor. Then we have nurse. Oh, wait. So like I was saying, nurse, doctor, if you notice, doctor did not have person added. It was just doctor. Because, teacher, law, lawyer. But doctor, docked, we don't really have, we don't say this, I need docked. Like, no, that's not a word. Well, I don't know if it's a word. I like to say that I never know what could be a word, but it's not really a word. So doctor. Oh, wait, I froze again, didn't I? Okay, I'm sorry. I just saw all of you jump at the same time, and I told me that was me, not you guys. But basically, I was saying that nurse, 2 fingers, nurse. Yeah. I used to think, why are we okay if doctor's this, but why are we still doing an N for nurse? I think it's more about, you know, when you're taking, like they take your what is that? Why can't I think of what this is when you're
Pulse?
yes, pulse. Thank you. I just totally blanked out. I just freeze for a minute, stand. It's like my brain is like an engine, just kind of just sputtering like air, going like, what are we doing right now? That's basically what happened there. But taking your pulse. Then we have student, which I know most of you are like, I finished school, but you never know. So student has the sign learn, person, learn, person. And then kind of the lazy way of it is student. Yeah, student. It's like you don't even like go full you're just like student. And then also sometimes some people just do this, student. That's it. They don't go up to the head, they just student. And then we have chef. So chef, you would do cook, person. So cook, person. Then we have baker. So the sign for bake, I'm going to lift it up higher so you guys can see more. It's more lower than this. Is bake. And sorry, she's chewy. She's got a chewy, and he tried to steal it, and she did not like it. That's why she growled. But this obviously is very visual of like putting cookies in an oven. So baker. So you do baker. Yes, perfect. You guys got the lower part. I was scared. I was like, I'm so up high. I'm like, they're gonna start doing this. I'm like, that is not baker. Then well, I didn't spread it out, but I didn't separate it clear enough. But so those are all the jobs that I have. Obviously, I know there's very few. So please send me any kind of jobs you guys would be curious of how you, okay, good. Okay, so for, let's see, for editor, because I know author is person, you writer. And then like for illustrator, you would just do the drawer, artist. For editor, I would say you could either just finger spell it, which actually might be shorter than how I would do it. Because how I would do it is I would describe it. So I'd be like book fixer, book writer. Like I would kind of elaborate where I'm like book fix, check that. I would kind of describe it. So editor would actually be faster in that situation. So let me see, make sure I don't miss any. Are there any other, I'm trying to think of jobs that are, let's see. Oh, nope, you cannot jump up here. Sorry, my dog wants to be cuddled. Okay, fireman, yes. So police, see, I thought we talked about this, but I think I only talked about the place, which is basically the same. So for police officer, it's the C here, cop. And then for fireman, it's fireman. Yeah. And you can do, in this one, you don't really need to add the person because cop, fireman. But again, it's not going to hurt you if you did do fire person, like fireman, be fine too. Okay. So are we good with any jobs? I know I did not do a whole lot. But one of the things I would say is, if when in doubt, finger spelling, which I know, I feel like that should be put on my gravestone, is when in doubt, finger spell, because of how many. I froze again. Okay, sorry. I keep seeing myself freeze, and I'm really sorry. I don't know what's happening with my internet. Like, I think it might be raining outside, and maybe that's it, but I don't know. But yes, like I said, all when in doubt, finger spell. Okay, so now I've moved on to some basic words I think would actually be very helpful and important for you guys to know. So the first one, which I think I've not taught any other classes before, so you guys should feel special, is the sign for medicine. So the sign for medicine is going to be palm up, non-dominant palm up, dominant middle finger, medicine. And you kind of shake it. You see I'm wiggling it. Yeah, medicine, medicine. So, and that is just obviously any types of medicine. If you're going to talk about a certain kind, like if you're talking about Advil or Tylenol or every other kind there is under the sun, you would fingerspell. So that's just kind of, there might be some places that have like regional signs for them, but I've never seen them. So I'm also not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I grew up with my mother where if I got hurt, it was, okay, well, suffer through for a little bit. And if it really hurts, I'm fine, I'll give you some medicine. That's it. Like, so I'm very like, my kids, if they're like, oh, I need medicine, I'm like, what's wrong first? Oh, I just have a little scratch here. I need medicine. I'm like, you don't need to scratch. Like, you're not bleeding. You're fine. Like, that's literally how my mother was. So I'm very much that way in my classroom. And my poor kids, I promise you, if there's anything serious, they tell me, and I'm like, okay, go get your medicine. But you know, kids, they think ice is medicine. You know, that's the most magical healing like thing ever created was ice. So, anyways, then I have please, which I think we've gone over, but I'm gonna do it again. Please is open hand, and you go in a circle. Please. Then I have sorry, which again I think we've done. Sorry is going to be a fist now and doing the same circular motion. Sorry. And again, when you're saying sorry, just word to the wise, your face needs to show it as well. So like, you don't want to be going, oh, sorry, because this is more that funny laugh. You know how when we're at time, we're like, sorry, where we have that why just hang out, and that's not really being sorry, but it's just like, oops. That's how your facial expressions show. So if you're being really sincere and sorry, like, I'm really sorry, like the eyebrows, all that. Then I have need. So the sign for need is going to be your X, and you go need. Tap. Yeah. This is also must. I think must is more one, like you must go to school. You need to go to the medicine. I don't know, something like that. I'm making up, and I can't pick it up with myself. So need. And then I have say, said. So say and said, there's no difference. And that kind of is a nice thing, in my opinion, as someone who always struggled with, you know, like we had a great time. We have a great time. You know, those, oh my goodness, I struggle so bad. So for say or said is this, you just tap on your shin, said, and like a lot of times you'd go, me, say, please stop playing. I said, stop playing. And then for tell, like, can you tell? Well, I'm doing it now. Tell, yeah, tell, tell. And again, that's directional. So like, you're not gonna look at someone and go, oh, I told, because if you do this, you're saying I told you. This is the other eye. Sorry, this is how I describe a person. These are, because that's how you describe a person in ASL is looking, is with like almost like these are the eyes. They're looking at you. I said to stop. But if you're trying to say, I said to the kids, stop, you want to go, I told you stop. No, you would say, I told them stop. Does that make sense? I know it got very weird and complicated for a little there. And then I have ask. So ask has really two kinds of questions. Two kinds of signs. The big proper one is ask. The other one is like, you can, and this one's more when you're saying like, ask for help. I'm asking for help. But if you're actually like asking a question, like go ask. You do like that question. If it's to someone, you go outward. If you're just saying question, like I have a question, you see, I'll stand near here. But if I'm like, you need to go ask her, I'll say, ask her. Does that make sense? Okay. I don't want to keep going, oh yeah, they get this. And they're like, I have no idea what she's saying. Like, so then the other one I have is repeat or again. I feel this is a very important one when you're talking to someone in ASL, because that was my favorite word to use when I was learning and being like, can you repeat that? And so it's again, repeat or again. So please repeat, please. That will help when you're talking with someone, because I promise you they will go fast. And then if you don't remind them, like, hey, I'm still learning, they will, and you're like, wait, please repeat that again. Then I have slow, like when you're saying like repeat, please repeat slow. And slow is your non-dominance on the bottom, your dominance on top, slow. And you want to make sure just one time slow, kind of deal like that. You don't want to go slow, because that looks almost like pet. So that can get confusing. So just slow. Then I have what the signs for deaf, hard of hearing, and hearing, which I feel are kind of important to know when you're also trying to talk to someone, is if they came up to you and they saw you signing and they ask if you're deaf and you stare at them like, I have no idea what this person's saying. So the sign for deaf is going to be your pointer finger to the corner of your mouth into your ear. I think I've showed you guys this when I showed you others. So deaf. Hearing, which I don't know, this one makes me laugh. I don't know. Hearing. Oh, there's other dogs barking. Hearing. And I think it's just funny because I know it almost gives me the, like, it looks like we're just like, blah, 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 with our mouths just constantly moving. That's what I think of when I say hearing. Hard of hearing is you have your H and you go hard of hearing. H. Hard of hearing. Now, fun fact for the sign for public school, I know this is totally random. You're like, I will never use this, but it's a fun fact, is hearing school. Public school. And it kills me every time. And everyone just looks at me like, why is this so, like my kids, they just look at me like, why is that so funny? And I just, because in my mind, I'm hearing it, I'm listening to it as hearing school, not public school. And it cracks me up every time. So thought you guys get a kick out of that. Okay, now let's go. Where are we? Okay. Now we're back. Like I said, there's no clear line of where the themes are. So it's very chaotic, like I've warned you guys. So my next one I had is good and bad. I think we've gone over this. I'm going to do it again for the sake of that. I feel those are good ones to have. So good is good. And you want to make sure you have your non-dominant hand. You want to arrive there because this is just thank you. So good. Then bad is going to be same position, but now you turn it. Yeah. Bad. Then I have nice, which I think I've showed y'all nice to meet you. I will do it again. I'm never sure which ones I've done. So nice. This is also clean. The sign for clean, as in my room is clean. You need to clean your room. All of those are in here. So nice. And then to meet you is nice, meet you. You want to make sure your hands kind of like, here, let me see. You see how they're coming towards each other and coming from every direction. Yeah. You don't want to go like to this. They're facing each other. Nice to meet you. Good. Okay. Then I decided to add a fun little one of rude because I don't remember if we did that in emotions, and I'm not going to apologize. I feel like I apologize every time that I'm like, oh, I think we've done this. That's just how I am as a person. I do that constantly. I get yelled at by my friends because I just apologize. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, I tell them I'm sorry for saying sorry too much. And they're just like, there's nothing wrong. I'm like, I know, this is just my need. But so rude. Rude is going to do this Y motion with your thumb on your opposite side of your mouth. Rude. Rude. Love to do that when my kids are being not nice. I look at me, you're being rude. And they're like, oh, I'm like, So funny. I'm telling you guys, they're so dramatic and it's great. Like kids are obviously dramatic as a whole, but then when you have a kid who is deaf and like all of their reactions and response, like how you would vocally have the kids talk with their tones and voices, it's all through their body and like how they act. It's funny. I can't even keep myself straight sometimes. I'm sitting there like, I can't even like with you right now. I told you no. And you're just like, well, why? And it makes me laugh. And then we're just like, the situation solved. So, okay. So anyway, so we have rude. Then sick. I thought sick would be one that definitely needed. And so sick is both middle fingers. One goes to your forehead. One goes to really, you go kind of more to your stomach. Yeah, sick. Sick. Mm-hmm. And then if you're trying to like, because I'm imagining if you are in a situation where you're like, I don't feel good, I need help, and you're trying to tell someone you're sick, and for some reason you are surrounded by only deaf people. And you go up and you're like, I need help, sick. You would want to point where, like head, like this is hurt, like headache, hurt. Your stomach. Sign for hurt is hurt. Yeah, hurt. And then you just do wherever it's hurting. So like if your throat's hurting, hurt, 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 wherever it hurts, you just kind of motion the sign of hurt. Okay. I know we've done this one, but doing it again. Sit and chair. So the sign for sit is 1, 2, like your two H's, sit. Chair is chair. So one motion is telling them you need to sit. One of them is the actual word itself, like the noun and the verb difference kind of deal. Then we have table. So table is that long arm, table. Table. Sorry, there's a kid playing basketball outside. I can hear the ball bouncing, and my voice was covering it so he couldn't hear it, but now he's heard it. Henry, come here, boy. Yeah, good boy. So then, okay, so bark. I go back and forth between yell and bark with those because the sign for yell is yell. Yell. But I know there's bark. Bark. This is also like, I think laugh too. It confuses me with that, but bark. Yeah, bark. And if all else fails, if you do yell, they understand. A lot of kids will try to ask me like if I jump, like because I will jump randomly in class because obviously I hear sounds that they don't, and they'll look at me and they go, what happened? And if I tell them like, well, the window just shook, does my window shake? I mean, it literally sounds like someone's just rapidly tapping on my window, especially when it's really windy. And I sit there like this and I just stare at my computer screen. My kids are like, what's wrong? Are you sick? I'm like, no, the window is shaking. And they're like, oh. I'm like, yeah. And then, or if I'll hear a random dog bark, which I have, I'll be like, the dog is yelling. And they're like, oh. I'm like, yeah. So it's always fun when I tell them because then they're just like, you can see on their face, they're like, that is not my problem. Like, anyways, so then we have pencil and pen. Those are the same ones, which is the sign, this pencil. If you're trying to be clear on you need a pen, like you're trying to sign something, you would fingerspell pen, like write pen. Make it very clear. Okay, and then here's where a more random comes in. So now we kind of flipped on to more in the house stuff. So trash or trash can. The sign is, so your non-dominant's gonna be in the fist. Trash. Trash. If you're saying throw that in the trash can, you would make the motion of like that, and you would go throw trash. Throw trash. Trash. Perfect. Then we have window. So window, I know I've not given you guys a single break. I apologize. We will have a break in a second. So window, okay, why am I turning? You need to see the window. It's because my window's right here. Like I said, you want to set it up where it is actually in your house or your room. You don't want to just randomly make it up like a window's over here when there's not. And like my instincts is just like, the window's right here. I must show you window. But I'm like, you can't see it when I do that. Window. window, window. If you are trying to say close the window, you would go close the window. This is just it. You just close it. If you're saying open window, you go open. Perfect, which I like. It just makes it easier. So you don't have to say close the door. You just go window, open the window, close the window. And the kids are like, got it. Then we have door. So door, it's always going to have your double doors. You might have one door, but it's not clear. So you just kind of do double. This is just kind of much for the door. If you were saying open the door, you would open, and imagine it like how it would actually open in double doors, like open, like the grand dramatic, like open, or open. Close is close. So, okay, here, I'll show it again because I can see your hands. You all are like, okay, which way is this supposed to go? So you almost want to pretend like your pinkies are the hinges. So they're not going to try to move as much. I know I do move it a little bit more, but you almost want to keep, so it's like your pinkies stay and your whole other parts move. Door. Like your pinky is going to stay right here and turn. Does that make sense? Door. And I mean, if they widen out, that's fine. Like that's actually will be used for being like opening, like, oh, there's some videos I gotta find. They're so cool. I'm going on a tangent right now, but there are these two different types of storytellings, like types of stories you can do in ASL. It's basically like how our poetry is. And one of them is called ABC storytelling. And basically what it is you are signing a story only using the letters of the alphabet in order. So it's almost less of actually using complete perfect signs and more of like, I can give you an example here. So obviously the sign for A. So pretend to be like the horse is walking and then the doors opening. With the B, the C is searching for something. You hear a D, the D of like a person coming down the stairs. The E of like scared. And then finding, like the F's. Oh, it's so cool. It's so beautiful. I'm fascinated. I watch them like, oh, there's the F, there's the G, where's the, it's so cool and so creative because, it's not like saying, oh, I found this, I look for this, like it's describing and playing it out more. And so sometimes when people are doing like, they'll do B's for door, which I mean, easily that makes sense. Beginning of the story, beginning of the letter, it works out perfectly. But some people will be like, they'll make it like it's big doors. They're just grand opening. And it's like, oh, it's so cool. I'll have to find some really cool videos. I think you guys would love them. Even if you're like, I'm not fully understanding what's happening, I think you would appreciate the ABC order. And you might be able to pick up on things because of the visualness of it and how they're acting. So, and then the other one, because I did say the other one, is the number storytelling, which is where you do some stories again, but this time in the order of the numbers. And that one can be, those can be real short, which is nice. So like the one being like one walking by itself, and then the two with the eyes looking, and then the three going awkward, 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 awkward. 4 is like swimming, I'm making up as I go, but like 5 is like, oh, it's so cool. And watching little kids do it, like we're doing Black History Month programs, and today was our second one. And this one was more the storytelling, which was, oh, it's so good. And it just gets to me because we were just watching all these cute videos and all this awesome stuff. But we have some of our kindergartners signing stories in front of like the kindergarten through 6th graders. And 2 of them did number stories today. And it's so cute. Watch, I can't even, like the kindergartners, they're so little and their fingers are little. And they're just like, fall in love with their fingers. Oh, it's so cute. I'm just, as you can tell, I'm like, oh, my heart can't even. I loved it. So I'll have to try to find you guys some really cute videos. You'll love it. Okay. We were on door. I was like, where did I even leave off? So now what we'll do is we'll take a little breather. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of time to ask me any questions you guys have or any signs you want me to kind of do over again. And then we'll move on to clothes for not a little bit. We're gonna move on to clothes. So are there any questions you guys have? Anything you are curious about or wish? I'm reading the comments. That's why the chat box. That's why I'm over here staring and kind of sounded like I'm zoning out. I'm not. Any kinds of signs or words or things that you're either curious of or kind of like, I'm still a little lost on how you would sign it or anything? Are y'all good? You're good? I know I've been going really fast. I really have. I sat there this morning before my class came into class, like before my students arrived into class, just typing on my phone. Okay, we need to go over this word, this word, this word. And then as I like arrived at it before words, I started trying to find it and I was like, oh, this is a lot of words on this list. I was like, my bad. So, okay, so we'll just move on to clothes. So the sign for clothes is clothes. It's your thumbs brushing, yeah, clothes. And that's obviously just a big general opening of it. If you're saying you're going to a clothing store, you can do, really, you would do clothes store. Now, one recommendation I have, because this happens all the time, and I mean, it happened when I was learning it, is teach store. So, because teach is very similar and then store is very similar. I always think about those. And I remember so many times during my first year of ASL being like, don't mess those up, don't mess those up, don't mess those up. Because you're not trying to become a store person. You're trying to become a teacher, like a teach person. So clothes store. Then the sign for like shirt, like sign for shirt, is you just kind of tug on it. A side note, this is also the sign for volunteering. Context will help it, if you're trying to say, oh, there's that basketball game and I'm volunteering, like you're not saying, oh, I need clothes for this basketball game. You're going to be like, I'm volunteering. Because if you're saying you need clothes, you'll be like, clothes I need. You understand what I mean? So, okay. So that's shirt. And the sign for pants is going to look very weird because it's more downward. And so I'm just going to have you guys pretend my pants are right here. My legs are right here. You go pants. Yeah. So you just kind of make that motion of your legs, pants. Yeah. Okay, I'm glad you guys got that because I literally sat there looking. I was like, this makes no sense. It almost looks like a bunny rabbit hopping from place to place. So love how I try to find ways to sign something and describe something. Then we have dress. So dress. Okay, sorry about that. He has got a very scary bark. And when he gets, and like, see, you guys think when you hear his other barks before, you're like, oh, that's pretty loud. No, that's the big one. Makes my whole like bones shake every time he does it. And he's always hoping my dad is coming home, like coming to the house, because my dad will come and visit. And then the next, like for 3 days afterwards, Henry will just sit at the door like, is he coming? Please tell me this is him. And I'm like, I know you like my dad. I know you like your grandpa, but no, he's not here. So he secretly hopes it's always someone coming to visit. But we are good now. Okay. We were on dress. That's right. Okay. So the sign for dress is you're going to go, my chair's swiggling, sorry. Dress. And you go down more. Dress. Yeah. So it's the same kind of motion, the same kind of hand motion of close, but now you go down all the way. And then depending on where if you're trying to describe where the length is, you would, I'm gonna hike a leg real quick. You would do, oh no, you can't see it. I'm sorry, I worked out on Sunday and then I also did yard work. So my legs are like extremely sore. I thought I could do it and then it just screamed no. On your legs, you would show where it is. So like you kind of like the length of it. For sleeves, if you're talking about the types of sleeves, you would do the sleeves like, yeah, sleeves. With a quarter length, coming down here, sleeves, yeah, perfect. For if it's a, how, and then you do the same thing for like describing if it's like a circle or if it's down, whichever way that too. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so now the types of like patterns you can have. So for polka dots, which is kind of easy, is you're gonna have your two almost like open Fs and you go polka dots. Polka dots. Yeah, polka dots. And you just kind of go all around. There's no specific way of how you just kind of tap. You just kind of showing polka dots all over. For stripes, if they are horizontal, you would go stripes and you keep going down. Yeah, stripes. If they are vertical, you would do stripes. It's the same for, yeah, stripes. Yeah. If it's plaid or, yeah, plaid, you would do stripes. You would do cross and down. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some others. If they're like color, like the really fancy, like, the real popular, like color, like a big colors right here, big colors right here, you would kind of just show describing it, so like, I know there'll be like those patches and stuff. So you have like the patch here and you would say like, it's blue. Here's like pink, purple, then down's like pink. You kind of describe it like that, if that makes sense. So if that's where it makes you, if there's like an, okay, perfect. So flowers, what you do is the sign for flowers, which is flower. Flower. I love this one. I think it's cute. And then you would just kind of go this kind of open like flowers here, to show it's a floral pattern. Let's see. Oh, there was one that I had gone. What was it? Oh, it's gone. It'll come back at some point, I hope. No, you're fine. No, trust me. Oh no, I remember it now. And you know what? The best part is the reason I remembered this one was because of your shirt. Is whatever you have on your shirt, like if it's a design on your shirt, you would you kind of describe it more, which is, I know, not easy sometimes. Like for example, like I have a lot of concert shirts. Like that's my big thing is when I go to concerts, I buy a t-shirt. And so like I went and saw Toto with my dad and my mom. And so I have a Toto t-shirt. So I would say shirt, concert, like I'd be like concert shirt. And then I would say like, it says Toto, you know what I mean? So I would describe it, has a person or has an airplane. Well, that gets real complicated real fast. Yeah, I would just finger spell like if it has words on it. And that's what you do for finger spelling words anyways. And hope that you do not have a really wild, like Bigfoot eating it. Oh wait, no, I have a shirt like this. Bigfoot eating a taco while riding on skates. It's like a Chewy's, like, the Mexican restaurant. My friends and I went there and they were like, we have to get matching shirts. And I was like, okay. And it's a Bigfoot eating a taco on skates. And I'm like, I don't know how I'd describe that. That would be a fun conversation. Oh, perfect. Rainbow. Okay. Sorry. Jumpy bubbliness coming out. So rainbow is going to be rainbow. Rainbow can do both. Rainbow one, rainbow. And it's like, obviously it's like the colors, they're coming down. Or how we have like in the corner, we'll have like the kids painting pictures. I'm just making the show of it in here, but rainbow. So rainbow. And if you were going to say like if it's a rainbow striped, I would go rainbow and then add the stripes again. And you can do stripes like this across or stripes just one across. You can both work. Okay, let's see. Any other ways to describe a shirt? The fabric, if you're going to try to say the type of fabric, I would just finger spell like cotton or velvet, that kind of deal. Yeah, that's how I would say. Any others? I'm trying to think. If you have like a fancy blouse, I would finger spell blouse, shirt. You could say work shirt. I would still say blouse, to be clear. I'm not talking about an actual like t-shirt or an actual like that, you know, because this is not a blouse, but it's fancier than a t-shirt, but I'd be like, it's still a shirt. So, okay. And then, oh, perfect. So then I added 2 ways you can compliment and insult. Not two, well, 1 way for each. So the sign for beautiful. So the sign for beautiful is beautiful. 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 And you can say like, that shirt is beautiful. Those, you know, pants are beautiful. If you're saying a skirt, you would do on your legs, skirt, like skirt. Stand up and back. Try to stand up and back up. Oh my gosh. I have like those palazzo pants and like the big fluff, or they, you know, they expand right at the feet, and it got stuck on the other pant and I could not get out. But like skirt, like on the actual, where it is, skirt length. Yeah, I still can't show you. I'm too short. I apologize. So there's that. The sign, so you could say beautiful. That's beautiful. You would point, kind of go like, you can do that. That's beautiful. That's a good way to say it. Then I have ugly. I thought it'd be funny just to add, you know, I hope you guys never say, oh, it's ugly, you know, unless it's like we all agree, or like, you know, you're trying to talk about the world's ugliest cat, which I know is a big competition, or ugliest dog. And I'm like, ooh, those are some interesting looking dogs. So the sign for ugly is ugly. Perfect. Yes. See, there's a positive with saying ugly Christmas sweater. I'll show you how to say that one. So ugly. And the best, and if you're trying to say like it's really ugly, like this is the ugliest thing you'd see, you do ugly, like it's both, like ugly, which I think is so funny. I mean, like I've never seen anyone use it, but like it just cracks me up, like ugly, like she's like, that's really ugly. So for ugly Christmas sweater, what you do is you go ugly, then Christmas, and then you could do clothes, sweater, or shirt. Sweater's kind of more just sweater. You just kind of do that. Yeah, that long sleeve motion. Oh, jacket. That just hit me. So jacket is going to be almost like, you know how backpack is? Backpack, you know, backpack. If I told y'all backpack, oh my gosh, I'm just acting like you guys know backpack, but you don't. I'm sorry. So backpack is you have your thumbs up, and your thumbs are going to be almost like where your straps are of your backpack, and you just kind of bounce it, backpack. And then we have coat or jacket, which is starts from like kind of your shoulders, jacket. And it's almost, again, that motion of when you have a backpack on, you holding your strap, you know, when you have the little geeky kids who are holding their straps like this, like ready to go to school, backpack. And then you have your jacket that you put on. So, yes, that's that. Okay, so that's all I have. Are there any other types of clothes you guys are curious of, or that I didn't cover, or you know, it hit me that I was like, I haven't put shoes on here, have I? So the sign for shoes is you're gonna have 2 fists, shoes, and you just kind of bounce, yeah, shoes. And then socks are gonna be, point your fingers now, socks, and they go back and forth, yeah, socks. Fun fact, this going up is stars. So whenever I do socks, it stresses me out because I keep thinking, am I telling them about stars or am I telling them about socks? But socks. Let's see. I'm trying to think of how you describe any other kinds of shoes. Like for high heels, you would go like with the point, yeah, the pointer downs. That's always fun to say because since I'm the only hearing one on my hall, our boss she has high heels. And so when she comes down the hall, I'll just kind of look and they'll look at me and they just go heels. I'm like, They go, and they'll be like, our boss. I'm like, So nothing against it. It's just so funny. I can always know when she's coming down the hall. If you're talking about like the height of a shoe, you would do like shoe. Ooh, I'm trying to figure out how you would do height with that. I mean, like kind of like, you know, this, and then you might say like this tall. So yeah, like I would say like shoes, you know, like I would kind of make that motion if it makes you taller. It's about this much. Try to, It'll be very awkward probably that first time around. I apologize because it is very awkward for me when I'm describing shoe height. A lot of times I just kind of point to the shoe. I'll point down to my shoe and I go, big chunkers, because I am very short of my family. So even with this tall of wedges, I'm still shorter than my brother and my father, and it hurts. So, but that is more personally my problem than anybody else's. So, but yeah, okay. Yeah, I think
What,
that's
what about for popcorn, for stars? Is popcorn similar and fireworks similar
so
motion? Oh yes, yeah, okay.
popcorn's flicking
So
up.
that's
Yeah.
stars, yeah,
Stars are stars.
like that.
For
And
fireworks.
fireworks, yeah, is that upward?
So I've also seen fireworks with that as well. Like especially when some people, but what they'll do is they'll do this and then they go
Mm,
explosions. Yeah.
okay,
Because people are singing the national anthem at baseball games and other sports games. Sometimes they will have a person who is signing, which I love when they do. And I just watch them, like that's all I pay
yes,
attention to. And I'll see them go, like for the Rockets,
right.
yeah, that whole thing. Sorry, I was sitting there going, wait, how does it go again? When it's out of order, I cannot follow with it. But they'll do this and then so they make that motion. So that's how I would do fireworks. And again, if you're saying stars and if they are kind of giving you this puzzle, like, what are you talking about? Like, if you're trying to say fireworks and you say stars and they're like, stars, you can always fingerspell, fireworks. So, but yes, fireworks and then stars.
And popcorn is that, which is
Mhm.
similar to something.
Yes. Well, and a lot of times it's really, I know I say this, and because you guys haven't had the opportunity to have like a full-on conversation with a deaf person where you only sign, it's hard to kind of picture it, but context is really important. And because I remember when my teachers would say that again and again and again, I'm like, how is it so important? They're not going to know what I'm saying if I say this word and I meant that, like I signed this and it means this. No, like it really does. Because if you're sitting there going like, did you see last night all the stars? Or if you're talking about the 4th of July, and you're saying, wow, last night those fireworks, like people are gonna, that makes sense. You're gonna go, hey, those mean fireworks. So context is your best friend in ASL. Okay, so I know we have 2 minutes left. I have no more signs. So yeah, we went through the list. Yay. Are there any questions or signs or things you kind of want me to clarify? Or how are you guys feeling?
Good.
Perfect. Good. I know our next class is our last class, right? Yeah. I know. So what we're going to do next week is we're actually going to, because I know usually what I've done in the past with other classes is like the 4th or 5th meeting is usually a test, like kind of a quiz, not test. And we didn't really do that this time. So next Friday will be our kind of our quiz. It's just to practice like our finger spelling, our numbers, definitely help with kind of reviewing some signs. And don't feel bad if you don't recognize it immediately, because we have literally learned a ton of words. And like that's not even including all the words that I've just added on while we were in conversation. So that's bound to, you're not going to probably remember immediately this. And I know we have some practice quizzes. I need to set up make some more varietal kinds to help you guys. Whoa, sorry, my whole screen, like I just went pink for a minute there. I don't know if you saw, but I did. Totally lost my train of thought with that. Anyways, making some more testing videos to help you guys kind of challenge yourself. Always one thing you can do is going like on YouTube is like look up like ASL videos. Let me give you this guy's name who has some videos on YouTube, who has some really great ASL videos. He's like a teacher he teaches them. And I like to, when I was learning, I like to use him, even though I knew the words, I'd watch him and I would kind of cover the word. So I'd be like, okay, that word is this. And I finger spell it to practice. and then it'd be right. So you can always use that too. There's a lot of, not a lot, but there's a lot of different ways you can practice. So, but I really like him.
I liked him. I have done that one. And I think it's Life Learn. It's been a year or
Life print.
Life print. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, yeah. My
They have
teacher.
different lessons too, and you could just hit on the video. It's really good.
It is. And he's really, one of the things I also like with him is that he'll have someone who's also learning sitting there with him. Like he's not just sitting in a screen signing it. No, he's looking at this person who's, you can tell, like in the beginning videos, they are so clueless. They're like,
I think it was 2 students with him, or 1 or 2 students, if I remember correctly.
yeah. And I like that because I feel like it makes it more realistic because you're seeing how they're signing it. And he can see in that way, he almost can kind of correct if it's a little mistake, you know?
Yeah.
So even though he's not like focused on telling you if you're signing it wrong, you can see how a person might sign it wrong that you might be doing. And then he can be like, oh, no, this. And it might help clarify. So if that makes sense. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I like him. He's good. And there's also, oh, this is cute. This is a little, here, I'll give you guys this. This is a family signing video. Like they're all deaf. I think the youngest daughter is hearing, but her parents are deaf, and her sister, no, I think they might be all deaf. Anyways, I mean, it's important, but you guys will figure out. You don't need to know this exactly, but it's a family, and they do some really cute videos with signing. They will do videos where like they're teaching you signs about like a trip, like they're going to Disney World, and each time they run into a character or they run into a game or something, they will turn around, look at the screen, and sign it to you. So that's another fun like kind of video just to kind of pick up on your signs. So those are the 2 that I really like. Their ASL Nooks one's also really cute because their daughters are just the cutest things in the world, especially when they're really little. Like you will see the dramaticness I was telling you guys about with little kids with those videos. They're great. So, alrighty. Well, I guess we are now finished because it's 6:33. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of y'all's week, and I will see you guys next Tuesday for our last class. Oh, it's gonna be fun. Promise. It will. I feel like that's more for me than you guys, but anyways, see you guys next week. Bye.
Thank you a lot. Bye-bye.